G'day traders, Sam here from TradeToProspa to give you a quick Bitcoin update and to continue on from where we discussed yesterday, looking at the comparisons. The other thing is, when you look at this, it's pretty evident that you've got the daily moving averages in the bull run. You can see how it just acts like support all the way through, and it's a good indication when they start crossing over that it starts to become bearish. Similarly here, once you start seeing it crossing over, some of them cross over, but here they all crossed over, and really that was a major sign, roughly there to get out. Interesting, isn't it? Also, we see that moving averages on the 200 weekly, a bunch of them, kept on being support, and now even here, even though the wick, we look at the closing of the candles, they act like support, and right now they're at resistance. So these are important facts. And I don't think we can go bullish until we see we breaking these 200 weekly moving averages. Which moving averages they are? Well, we'll have a closer look. But let's have a look at. It's just one of the things I want to discuss quickly. It's just visual indications. It's there. Now, when we're moving closer on the weekly, let's just get in close. Put that in there. My logo. You can see that the weekly. Interesting how this this is the weekly. I'm not sure if that's a weekly closer. Yes, no, it isn't. I do believe when I was last looking at it today, this morning, it turned closed red. At the moment, I don't know if I've got any. Let me have a look. It's a bit funny when we look at this chart. Let's just have another look at the weekly. Actually, let's look at another chart while that's taking place. The weekly, I'll have a look at this one because I believe it went red this weekend. So let's have a see. Very slow for some reason. And okay, so yes, that is a red. That's closed red, and we're here today. So actually, the seventh, isn't it? Yeah. So the seventh is here. So this it's a bit confusing, isn't it? I believe 6 days. No, it didn't close red. This is a new candle. Okay, my confusion. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go back to where the original chart I had. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. So that candlestick's still in the making. I thought it was red, but it's not. So when we look at this, you will see my moving averages and a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, bugger, my pie's gone. Okay, that was on the daily. So let's look on the daily. So you can see my weekly levels. So I created two weekly levels. So they're my main resistance level, the two weeklies. And once this comes up to date, it's very slow for some reason. Right, we got them. So we've got our weekly 200 SMA, 233, and a 200 EMA. So these are the ones that we need to break. And you can see how they come together in this bucket here. So this is going to be a difficult level to pass. And then when we do our Fibonacci, you'll see more or reason. However, the positive news is we've got this pi moving average. It was acting as a resistance, and it's currently in limbo. Like it's either support or not. What we have is this 21 weekly SMA that's acting like support. Then we've got the 10 and 20 moving averages on the daily as well. So we've got a bunch of support here a lot, and this 0.382 Fibonacci is also acting as support, or should act as support, because it was a previous resistance. So this is our daily level. If we were to enable, if we were to enable this, looking from a different perspective, I won't go into how I got that, but we can see that they had their role as well, a resistance, and the 0.5 is down here, and the 0.618 is also aligned with the 0.382. So to me, this and the moving averages and this pi, this should hold. We should see it hold, but we don't know, right? Until we see a cup shape coming through on the small time frames, we don't know. But if this doesn't hold, then that's a bearish sign, pretty much. And I talked about this. And what it could be is a swing failure. And what is a swing failure? We can just grab something here. This is a swing failure move. We can see that taking place. Previous level, high, and if we don't hold this level, then it falls into this swing failure, swing trade. And therefore, we'll start using this 0.382 as resistance, and then it's likely to come down more. We're going to look at the smaller time frame, but let's look at the indicators at the moment. On the daily, we're still above the 50%, and RSI is trying to hold this level on the daily. So we're not done yet, and the wave trend is also still looking bullish. It's not finished. So from the daily, we're still looking good still, but it's just, and we expected a pullback because of this level and this weekly level. We didn't quite hit it, but we expected, give or take. I was hoping we'll hit the 0.5 Fibonacci to give us some significance. Now, if we were to add the other Fibonacci, so what we can do is remove one, and this one, let's see where I came from. You can see the swing low to the swing high. This enables us to get our targets, and you can see how that acted as resistance. This is acting as support. So these two are coming together well. And so we need to see go above the 0.382 to start becoming bullish, really. And let's put the prices in there. So our resistance from a Fibonacci perspective is 21,000 roughly, and our support is 20,800. So in that pocket, let's see what this one does. And this one's a local one. So if I was to put that in there, what we did is a swing low, to swing high, to a swing low, and we can see our Fibonacci's as well. And the 1.414 pretty much act as resistance here. And again, these two are, now when we put these together, we have more of a resistance layer. Now we have this. And let's put that in there. Yep. You can see how I'm working through it. And where was that other Fibonacci? Just to get the details. Yep, that was it there, wasn't it? So I will move that across there. This is our range. We need to what range, and then it's decision time. That's pretty much it. What I have. So now let's look on the 4-hour. You can see I'm moving averages. They should stay there. Doesn't matter what time frame because I've pretty much set it up. The pie is a bit different. Don't know what time frame that works on. Okay, so no, it's not coming up at all. So we've got our 10 and 20 moving averages, and they're not going to really help us on the small time frame. And so there we go. Now, what concerns me is it looks like we're going to get a bit of support. What we need to look at is What's the SP500 doing? Here we go. So SP500 keeps finding this area as resistance. So we had this ascending wedge, pullback, and it's trying to maybe doing a reversal structure. That's what I'm hoping for. It's our it's a nasty, but it could be a B, and it's C, and D. This might be it there, right? So this level is important now to hold, or give or take. We've got this Fibonacci level, so we can probably use that more so. We want to see a reversal structure. We want to break above this for this to start correlating with Bitcoin to go bullish. So if we that's on the 1 hour. If we look on the 4 hour, meanwhile while that happens, I was expecting a drop. These are the levels I was expecting from a very small time frame perspective. This is the 618 level, so this could be the reversal or the golden pocket here. And so they're going to be swing failures. So if this was to come down, we'll probably get a move there and a rejection here, and then we're going to get some sort of squeeze, I think, for a move to the up or down. And Bitcoin's not going to make it easy for us, put it that way. Let's let's show you more. So let's get rid of these. You can see that my first fib is from there to there, and the golden ratio is here. So we might get support there if this was to drop a bit further down. The second one is aligned with this level, right? So we might just dip down here. If this doesn't hold, we might just dip down here and get a swing failure move. And then we got so if this was to come down, really depends on where this comes down to. If this was to come down to there, our 618 is roughly the neckline, and we have that region. Makes sense? And this trend line could be really a main support and decision maker. So that's on the 30 minutes time frame. And the other aspect to this, if we look at it, it seems to be like a rising wedge as well, potentially. So this was what I discussed on the video yesterday. The point on the macro level, it aligns with our thinking. So we've got the daily level as well, and this trend line. So there's a whole bunch of charts that I like looking at, and the Bitcoin dominance. So this was what I didn't look at for a while, and it hurt me today a bit. I got stopped there on a lot of trades, or raised my stop loss at least, so I'm still in the profit. However, when we look at the Bitcoin dominance, this looks like there was a breakout trade there for Bitcoin to go up and also drop, and then we found this Fibonacci level as resistance. It's really playing well into our strategy. Now the question is, can this find support here and then move back up? They've got to keep an eye on this, depending on what your Bitcoin or altcoin strategy is. At the moment, the US dollar is finding a bit of support, and the SP500 is finding resistance. So we just got to keep an eye on both of those. It's probably likely to break above it, but at the moment we don't have much. So this is going to be all dependent on that SP500, if it's going to go further down or not. And that's all I've got. Just to give you some context, we have good support levels on the daily, and the 21 moving average is probably the main one. If you look at the 21 moving average, guys, I'm just having a bit of trouble with my chart, and But I'll leave it at that. Looking at it's been about 15 minutes and it's not updating well. So I'm going to just cut off there, and I think I've covered most of the topic as to key levels and why this should be a strong support, and why if we drop that, that's going to be bearish. And if it does drop it, then we're probably going into this wedge formation, potentially, of some sort. And so you got to be careful of that. That could be a wedge, or it could be a channel. So we can do the other aspects. So there's a few scenarios that could potentially play out. If we do that, yep, we can potentially play that middle layer, but that's still bearish. What we had here was also a bullish or something like this. Hold on. Actually, that probably covered it there. So can we say that it broke above and then came back down? Yes. Yep. So that this channel might be a bit further starting from here, probably. And it doesn't quite meet our standards, but definitely we've got our levels. This one here is definitely there. So we've broken above it, and then we come back down. So that formation is not relevant anymore as a channel, but nothing's perfect. So let's see how we go with that. We need to definitely hold this to stay bullish. I'll leave it at that. Please give me a like and share. Talk to you soon. Cheers.